Hi everybody, this is Lady Robin from the Robin's Nest, and I want to give you, first of all, my fans, a few fans that I have out there, an apology. I haven't been making videos for quite some time, and that is because I haven't had access to a camera and a microphone. But I got a new Kindle and this has a camera on it, so I'm using it. And I want to apologize also for the quality of this video. I'm very sorry that it's not as nice as it should look, and it's probably very grainy. I do apologize for the quality, but this is what I got to work with right now. And considering the events that have been going on in the day, I feel as though it's no time like the present to break in this new camera. So here it goes. To the fans out there, I'm quite sure by now you all have heard of the article on Radar Online talking about how supposedly Michael Jackson had a huge stockpile of child porn and animal torture pictures and videos uh, at his home or in his possession or where the fuck ever. I don't know. I only read bits and pieces of the article because to me it's nothing but pure bullshit, because once I started to really think about it, I kind of realized a few things. Number one, Neverland, to my knowledge, is empty. Michael moved out of Neverland years ago, and it's been sold, lock, stock, and barrel. And Neverland will probably never be Neverland ever again. And Michael also said that Neverland was no longer his home after the raid. And you know, it took my mom to remind me that he said that a few years ago. She reminded me of that, and she was right. He did say that Neverland was never going to be his home again because of what the police did to his home. Number two, the home that he lived in and where he passed away in was sold and is now being lived in by a new owner. So where this supposed stockpile of porn came from, child porn and animal torture porn or what the fuck ever, came from, I don't know. I will say that it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this is stuff that was collected by the police and was in their files a long time ago, and some person, I'm going to use that term lightly, decided to say, let's just say that this is Michael's stuff, and went to town and wrote this stupid ass article. Because where did it all of a sudden come from? Supposedly from the, I guess, Santa Barbara police. Where did it come from? Think about that. Where did it come from after 7 years after he passed? And after 11 years after the 2005 trial? Where did it now all of a sudden come from when the police originally said that they couldn't find anything? When it was confirmed by the FBI back about 2-3 years ago that they couldn't find anything on Michael. So if you have the actual FBI stating that they could not find anything, where did this sudden stockpile come from? Also, the whole bullshit about the animal torture pictures and stuff, I think if Michael had even seen anything like that, I think he would have lost his lunch. Michael was too sensitive for that kind of stuff. He wouldn't have. Seriously, are some people really that stupid to believe that he would? I mean, for 20 years we've had to deal with this whole Michael Jackson's a pedophile bullshit. And now, all of a sudden, 7 years after his death, we're supposed to believe that he had animal torture videos and pictures in his home. We're supposed to believe that. Okay, let's also think about something. Michael had a lot of animals on his property. A lot of animals. He had a freaking zoo, for Pete's sakes. Animals are the most sensitive creatures on the planet. They are overly sensitive and they can smell evil. They know when they are around an evil person. They can sense it. How many times have we had a dog see somebody and started growling because they could sense there was something not right about that person? So if Michael had, God, it just sickens me to say it, animal torture videos and pictures in his home, knowing full well he had damn near every type of animal on his property. I mean, not just Bubbles the chimp and Louie the llama and Muscles the boa constrictor, but he also had dogs, he had cats, he had a friggin' elephant, for Pete's sake. Anyone remember that? He actually had a fucking elephant on his property. Okay, so if he had all of these, oh, and let's not forget the tarantulas. He even had some of those, and I don't want to go there because I can't stand those things. But yeah, he had all kinds of beasts living on his property. If he was looking at that kind of stuff and maybe like fapping at that kind of shit, don't you think the animals on his property would have been able to sense it on him? They could sense it within him and sense it in his soul. And wouldn't they have stampeded that place a long time ago? I mean, I know that might sound silly, but I mean, the whole thing just sounds preposterous. And what really pisses me off is that because it is leaked from Radar Online, which we know, once again, is a tabloid entertainment website that does not post the truth. Not just on Michael, but on all sorts of celebrities. Anytime, I mean, when Prince passed away a couple of months ago, they were probably saying that, oh, he was doing all kinds of illegal drugs and shit, and then it just came out that Prince died of a prescription overdose. So you know Radar Online is not credible. It's never been credible. But because this story is such a hot story and it is blowing up the internet, you got real news outlets like Huffington Post agreeing with it and posting it and acting like it's true. Thank you, Ariana Huffington. Thank you for that. So it just sickens me that people are believing this from a tabloid entertainment website, which is not credible. And this is giving the haters what they want, a field day. I actually read some of the comments on one post. One person said, well, when one person wrote, well, he was acquitted in 2005. Another person wrote, yeah, rich man's justice. Seriously? Seriously, rich man's justice. Yeah, Michael had so much clout and so much power and so much money, he could just buy everybody off. Anyway, to the fans out there, like my favorite song from Public Enemy back in the day, don't believe the hype, okay? Just don't believe it. Also, know that all this shit is blowing up 4 days before Michael's 7th anniversary, which is coming on Saturday. Has anybody ever stopped to realize that every time there has been some scandal concerning Michael after he passed away, have you realized that it always seems to happen right around the anniversary? Think about that. Remember back 3 years ago when Wade Robeson all of a sudden just came out and said, oh yeah, well, Michael molested me after all. After he said on the stand that nothing ever happened. Oh, and during his interview with Matt Lauer, he actually said, this is my truth. And I've wondered about that. When I heard him say, this is my truth, well, then that means if that's your truth, then somebody else's truth can be different, and his truth can be different, and her truth can be different, and he, she's, and its truth can be different, and our truths can be different, and their truths over there can be different. That means it's all different kinds of truths. If it was really true, then he would have said, this is the truth, not my truth. Because if it's my truth, then that means just possibly your truth might be wrong. It might not be the truth after all. So when all that happened, it happened in May of 2013, about 2 weeks before June was about to come in. 2 weeks before the month of June, before Michael's 4th anniversary. Why is it whenever there's a scandal about Michael having this bullshit lie reopened, why does it always seem to happen right before the anniversary? Think about that. 365 days out of the fucking year, 12 months out of the fucking year, and these things always seem to happen right around June 25th. Seriously? Seriously. This bullshit couldn't have been said back in January or November or April or September. No, it always seems to happen right around his anniversary. You know, I remember there was a quote from Shakespeare, from one of my favorite plays, Hamlet. If I remember correctly, the quote goes, something's rotten in the state of Denmark. Heaven will direct it. I do believe that. I do believe that. That there is something rotten in all of this. And it's not just with him, it's also with other famous celebrities, that people who are very well loved. Like, don't even get me started on the whole Cosby thing. Like, that was also weird. Now all these women show up 30, 40 years later, all around the same time. No one said anything any other time. What is it about certain celebrities, especially the very famous ones, especially the ones who are African American, who have done a lot of good for not just the African American community, but for the world in general? Why is it every time we have somebody who is like this, who is good, who is wonderful, there is always some scandal just seeming to blow up out of nowhere right at the moment when that person is about to be celebrated for something? Excuse me for a minute, I need to turn on my lights. Right before this is happening, right before Michael's 7th anniversary. And just like with the Bill Cosby thing, this thing happened right before he was supposed to buy a network and make an African American news, and make an African American channel, a network channel like NBC, ABC, CBS, etc. You know, why do these things always seem to happen on the eve of something very special? And we're supposed to buy this? We're not supposed to, we're just supposed to ignore the timing, and we're just supposed to swallow it just because a tabloid said so? Michael said it himself in one of his songs: just because you see it on TV or read it in a magazine doesn't make it factual. And it's true. There are reporters out there who live for the muck and the mire just so they could get a paycheck. But there are some reporters out there who do believe in the truth, who do believe in the fairness, and do believe in justice for all people, and do not look for muck and lies and running with it just for the sake of getting a paycheck, just for the sake of being able to tear a certain person down. The only thing I want you fans to do out there is to think. Think a little bit. Not just with your brain, but also with your heart. Think about the person that you have known and loved and have listened to for all of these years. Think about it. I'm glad that wherever Michael is, he doesn't have to live with this crap. But we, his fans, and most importantly, his family, and especially his 3 young children, have to live with this. I cannot imagine the hurt and the pain and the anguish that Prince and Paris and Blanket have to go through yet again. These are young children. Granted, Prince and Paris are almost in adulthood. They're in their late teens now. They're old enough to know that this world has been shaven by a drunken barber. But poor Blanket is still a little kid. He's about 13 now. He's still young. He's still young. He's, I think, getting ready to start high school. He's at a difficult age. And to have this crap come out now is going to be very painful for him and for Paris and Prince. And it's especially painful to his parents and his siblings, because his siblings know the type of person that he really was. And his parents, especially his mother, knows the type of person that they brought into this world. I can't even imagine the anguish Mrs. Jackson, Miss Catherine, must be feeling at this moment. To know that her child, her precious child, is being slandered again. And this time it's worse because he's deceased and he can't speak for himself. Michael once said, "My fans are activists and they will defend me." And I'm going to defend him until the day I'm not on this earth anymore. I'm going to defend him. I'm going to defend real child abuse victims, not fake or imagined ones with Michael's case, which he was found not guilty on. I am going to defend real animals who have been abused and tortured and maimed because they were placed in the hands of owners who did not respect them. I just heard from one of my friends, she's a cat lover. She heard of a cat that has been abandoned in its home, its former owner's home in my hometown of Philadelphia, South Philadelphia. And this poor cat has no place to go because it was left inside its owner's home, and its owner had to move, and he didn't take the cat with him. I wish I could bring that cat into my home, but since I live with my family, and my family, one of my family members has an allergy to pet dander, I can't do it. But for any of the people who are on my page who live in Philadelphia, South Philly in particular, if you know the situation I'm talking about, if anyone could find that cat, please adopt it. And to the fans out there, again, Michael's anniversary is coming up on Saturday. I urge you fans to remember Michael the way he was, not the way he has been portrayed in the media. I also ask you to do something in his honor, uh, especially around 2:26 on Saturday afternoon. Please do something, anything. Light a candle, say a prayer, sing his songs, watch his videos, dance, write a poem, uh, uh, go see one of his movies, um, go volunteer at a soup kitchen, go read to young children at a library, go to a petting zoo, go to an actual zoo, form a protest. In fact, I would love it if there was a protest. In fact, I wish I could form a protest rally myself. I could see it now at the Love Statue in Philadelphia. It would be so nice if just a few people who are fans of Michael's could show up at the Love Statue on Saturday, sometime after 12 noon, but before 2:26 p.m. And just think of Michael, think fondly of him, and fight against these despicable, malicious rumors against a man who can no longer defend himself. And we also urge Washington, continuing again to ask Washington, D.C. to please set a bill in motion to where public figures who are now deceased make it a, make it make some type of law stating that you cannot maliciously slander a person after that person has been deceased, because this is ridiculous and this is not going to stop, and this does nothing but hurt the fans and hurt his family. Michael can't be hurt anymore, because wherever he is, he's in a wonderful place. So I urge you fans to just do something and to think of him fondly this June 25th. He was a great guy, and he did not deserve the crap that he is getting now. Well, once again, I have talked for a really long time, and like I've said before, I do apologize for not making videos for quite some time, but there were some things that I really needed to say, and I needed to get this out there. And also, I do again apologize for the quality of this video. I hope that maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to make videos again that will look much better and not be as grainy as they are. And I hope that this will be the start of my doing my videos again, because I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed making my videos, not just on Michael, but on all types of topics. And I loved making my bit strips, although now bit strips are now no more. Please go on to my Facebook to look at those old bit strips, the few that are still there. And again, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me under Robin Ajax, and you can also find me under Lady Champlin, excuse me. Can't get my own name right. Oh man. You can also find me on Twitter under the name Jetson Blade, and that's about it. So once again, this is Lady Robin live from the Robin's Nest, and I'll end this video the way I ended my videos in the past, with my warbly little voice, just saying, smile, even though your heart is aching. Bye, everybody. And